Well, good morning. Just pop this game levels down just a tad while we're chatting. And trying to set... Oh, where's the rail driver? It's not there. Got rail driver, cam. Maybe we won't have rail driver cam today. For some reason it's not showing up. Okay, I'll deal with that next week. We'll live. All good. Alright, my voice seems to be going out on the stream, and so is the game. Good-o. So, good morning, folks. Hello, Michael, Sagia. There's at least one other person here and someone already on playback. That's okay. Ooh, there's a bit of an awful artifact. But that's okay. We'll deal with it. Anyway, I've got new hardware, so if this thing explodes, which could happen, we'll see. Anyway, I've just got the newest Cane Creek mod as well. So it's now known as the Cane Creek Subdivision General Patch. It used to be, I think, called the Logo Patch or something. And it fixes a whole lot of stuff. So if you're playing Cane Creek, I really do recommend that you get this, because it's really cool. So it's on mods.trainsimcommunity.com, and in there's a whole lot of stuff for Train Sim World 2. There's not much in the way of scenarios, or there are a few already, because people have figured out how to import them and export them now, which is kind of cool. But there's a lot of patches, there's a lot of sound updates and things like that. I'm just going to bring my headphones down a little. That shouldn't change any sounds for you guys, hopefully, though. Alright, and looks like my graphics driver is misbehaving again, which is excellent. So we are here at 7 Mile. This is one of the free roam scenarios, and I've basically made up a set of actions that I'm going to follow, just pretending this is a real train. Now, I did have all these grand plans of setting things up beforehand, but that's life. We didn't get there. So, let's jump up onto our lead loco here. And welcome to the lovely young lady who will be not assisting us today, because all she does is sit there and stare at you and stare out the window. So, in punishment for that, we're in the desert, it's hot, she can have open windows. So, we need to get our train ready to go. Something we need to do behind us. We need the radio, and we need safety systems. And let's cut in our brakes. And set them up. And we want short hood leading. Controlling unit with unit coupled at long end. That's the right one. That should make all their headlights work properly. Alright. Let's release these brakes. Let's get the reverser in. And get that into reverse. What are our headlights doing on the front there? Kind of bright. Good. And everything's... Oh, we've still got no gauge lights. Might want some ditch lights even though it's daytime. Whatever. And all happy there. And we're starting to roll, of course. But we actually want to go the other way. Now let's just jump into the map and see how the points are aligned. Because yesterday I derailed myself a couple of times, which was pretty exciting. So let's go and get some stuff done. So basically what I've set up is that we're taking some carriages that were left behind in these sidings by a failed locomotive, which it's not here because it got dragged away or rolled down the hill or something. Hello, Roy. And we'll be taking them down to... Let's get rid of that annoying bell. And then we'll be taking them down to Potash. Some of these carriages are destined for Moab, but you can't put them in at Moab because we're the wrong way round. That's okay. You'll see what I mean when we get down there. And then we'll bring them back to Moab. Just seemed like something fun to do. And I should probably turn off that thing at the top. No, I don't have written down how to do that. That's okay. If anybody can remember how to turn off the thing at the top, we can do that. Lots of independent brake. And just because we can, we'll go set the movement points. I won't set them all by hand, but we need to set some. So how are people on this hopefully fine day for you? It's nice and sunny in Melbourne, although apparently it's supposed to rain soon. Hey, when did the points start working properly? Ooh. And that one's set for that siding. Actually, I want to go into this siding first because I want to go and get the tank car that's in there. All right, let's go back to the logo. F3. Now that's FPS, which is very healthy. No, F5 didn't do it. Maybe it only does it when you're in the loco. I'll try again in there. I'm very happy with the FPS after my hardware upgrade. Everywhere except HMA, where it's a bit weird. Alright. Into forwards. 2 honks, because it's America. And there'll be one more set of points to set that I was way too lazy to walk to, and that'll be these ones. Alright. Don't want to build up too much speed as we head in here in the wonderful world that is Utah. So I saw on the forums, Michael, that you were a voice of moderation, as I was after the announcement. Oop, I'm coming in a bit quick. Ah! Oh, survived it. But I did blow the brake valve open. Alright. So we'll have to sit here for a minute while that times out. That's okay. So TSW2 had their big announcement that they were splitting the upcoming release of 3 routes into 3 separate releases. I can't say I'm overly surprised. It sounded like a big thing right from the start. But they seemed confident. But their confidence was perhaps a little misplaced. And they announced that you can still buy them as a package of 3, or you can buy them separately. And the core update is still on time. Yeah, I tend to agree some people have gotten a little bit too excited. I mean, I understand that people are upset and disappointed, but yeah, it's okay to vent your frustrations, but it's not okay to do it in a nasty way. Oh, have we had a minute yet? Probably not. But the other interesting news is that anybody who would like to play TSW2 and doesn't want to pay for it, from the 25th, I assume the US 25th, given Epic's... maybe it's the UK 25th, actually. But anyway, that's the same, because they're on the same side of the dateline. But from the 25th to wherever Epic is, you'll actually be able to get TSW2 for free for a week. I'm intending to do this, even though I already have it on Steam, because the new update for Unreal 4.26 is what they're releasing, and I want to see what it's like. Hopefully we can reset this now. Yep, there we go. The little PCS light, if you wonder what I was looking at, it's that little red light that was on. Alright, so we can start dragging this little tank car, the sausage, oops, a bit much, out of this siding. I wonder if I could convince that guy that's doing all the mods for Cane Creek to get rid of the bell. That would be cool. A silent bell. Yeah, I know they're prototypical, but I hate them. Now, I almost thought about running a train just with this tank car and 3 locos because it'd be funny, but I thought, not really. So we're pulling this one out of the siding, and then we're going to collect some hoppers. We're not going to take all of the hoppers, though, because I can't run around them here. And that's kind of important, given that we want to go down to potash. Yeah, I don't mind the staggered release so much, Michael. So Michael's just said it's a bit sad about the release being staggered. I don't mind that so much because we're still able to buy them as a package. I think that's the important bit. And for me, I guess it's kind of interesting because instead of having to choose which one to play, Dovetail are going to choose which one we're playing each week. Mind you, they haven't said they're a week apart, but we'll see. So just to make sure we don't bore everybody to tears, I'll keep doing points on the map. So we're going to pop in and get some hoppers now. And I'll try not to go in there quite that quick. That was a bit silly. I forget it was downhill. Coffee. So I'm very much looking forward to the freebie version. I've even put on Epic's malware just so I can download it. That and my new CPU came with some other games that were free, which they don't look like something I'd like, but I grabbed them anyway. Because how do I know if I like them if I don't at least give them a try? And if people are wondering why the hardware update, given I was fairly happy with my gaming system and it was running quite nicely. In Australia, it's tax season. And because of working from home, I got quite a nice tax return. So doing what all gamers do, instead of paying off your credit cards from during the year that incurred all those working from home expenses, you buy gaming hardware. This time I was too gentle. Alright, nearly there. Excellent. I did get more hardware. Should put the independent on too, I suppose, since we're going outside. And our friendly friend that doesn't help. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That last one down there with graffiti. I think 10 will fit in this siding. We'll know soon. Because I have to be able to run around them and we can't go down the hill. Right, back we go. Yeah, I upgraded from an i5, I think 10700K to a i9 10850K. And I upgraded my board because when I bought the board in the middle of the massive lockdown in Australia, hardware was really, really, really scarce. And I had to put up with one that was rather awful. Just build up some revs since it's downhill and I don't want them to recouple before I release. And releasing. And the horrible bell. Why aren't we releasing, folks? Oh, because I... No. I actually released that in Raildriver. It didn't let go in the game. That's interesting. That's okay. Yes, Roy, it's running now. It's actually why I had a bit of a hard time getting going this morning. Because for whatever reason, every now and again, TSW2 just refuses to make sound. But apart from that, everything else is working nicely. I didn't do a fresh Windows install because I was using the same base chipset, so I stayed on the 10th gen chipset. So I figured I'd give that a go. If I can iron out the issues, I'll be okay. And I've had to plug the network back in because I was using Wi-Fi, but OBS doesn't seem to like the Wi-Fi network connection, so I've had to quickly plug the Ethernet back in and enable that. Which probably means I'm currently connected to 2 networks. That's okay. I just realise you can see all that crap behind me. What's that? Otherwise my other half will get upset. Yeah, the alerter finally happened. Anyway, welcome back to the wonderful desert of Moab. So I'm pretty happy with the way it's going. I'm running at 2K with 150%. And it seems to be running quite nicely. I'm just sitting back here so I know when I've cleared the points. Which we just about have. No, we have cleared the ones down there. That'll do then. Throttle off and some brakes. And into the map. And we'll pop these into the loop. And just see which way the points are set down there. Main line's fine. So just checking. Those ones in there and those ones are into the loop. Alright, let's set back. Well, go ahead actually. Given we're pushing it. It's a bit quick. Oh well. Let's head down here anyway, because I want to bring them right down to the end of the loop without coming into the crossing. So let's be dangerous and stand in the middle of the road, eh? Cool. The Beelzebub. Alright, let's go and uncouple. I noticed something else has started working, by the way, which is kind of cool. Oops, wrong one. These weren't working before, but now they are. But I have discovered something else interesting. If you're going more than about 10 mile an hour, they stop working. And they don't let you climb down the stairs anymore either if you're going really fast. And that's annoying because I'm going the wrong way. Because if you get, you know, really bored, you just uncouple your train and let it roll away. But, you know, you can't do it now. Sad. Is there a coupling lever on this side? There is. Good. Back up we go. And into reverse. And again, I'm giving it some throttle because we'll roll but straight back onto the coupler if we don't. So we're just going to run around this train now. Nearly there. Since it's daylight, and we're right near the dinosaurs, and we looked at the dinosaurs in the dark last time, does anybody want to look at them in the daytime? I had my FPS counter on, but I just realised you guys can't see it. Because my head's on it. Got the hiccups. Joy. Go and get our carriages. How are you going on finding collectibles? I've got all the signs. I've got all of the water bottles. I've got nearly half of the track pinning picks. And I'm a bit shy on the vests. I have to say the orange vests don't really stand out against the sand terribly well. So you've done them all, Michael. I'm impressed. Well done. Well done, you. If anybody watching is not sure what I mean, the if I find one during the stream, I'll go get it and you'll see. That was enough honking, wasn't it? Yeah, the hammers are a little bit hard to see. What I normally do to find everything is I actually use a gronk because it's slow. And I just run along at about 10 mile an hour down any route, sitting on the outside. And I fly around with the 8 camera trying to find stuff. And then when I get there in the loco, I can hop out and get it. Now, in reality, they'd do a brake check, but I'm just going to pop back into the cab and make sure we didn't pop the PCS open then. We did not. All right, we'll watch from this side. Kind of thought it would just roll given it's downhill, but no. I watched a few YouTube videos to try and figure out what American locos do when they're shunting near crossings, because they probably can't do the too long, short and along, and they just honk a lot instead. I've altered what next week's stream was going to be too, because I thought it would be kind of nice to have a look at the new version. It won't be free by the time I run the stream, I believe. I'm pretty sure that runs out up before I run that stream, but it would be a good thing to do. Let's go down in the hole and watch the train from down here. Just watch out for flash floods, which apparently they've had in Utah last couple of days. A good friend of mine's actually in the national park that's bordering this line, and she sent me some photos, so I approximated her photos as best I could in game and sent her screenshots. She thought this was pretty funny. She also thought I was a bit of a stalker. Dinosaur time. So we'll let the train go on its merry way. It's not going too fast. Here's our friend T-Rex. Lovely big mouth. Some more little friends. Oi, stop eating my tree. We go visit the raptors. Naturally enough, all want to eat the train. Oh good, I can do the alerter from out here. I wonder if it's deliberate that their feet are in the ground. Those ones are. It's a proper global warming volcano. Now, one last high-speed fly-through with the dinosaurs. And back to our train, which is slowing down. Train needs more speed. It's interesting when you're 90 degrees onto the train in this game. The transitions aren't very smooth, but on the other angles they're okay. Flying rocks are gone. Let's see if you can see the flying rocks from this angle, which is where I first noticed them from. Because if you can't, maybe there's been a sneaky little patch. Oh no, they're there. Hello, flying rocks. Can't quite get up that high. Oop. Oh yeah, our train's in a hole. Down here. shot. You can't actually see the train. It'd be one of those things you'd hike up there to get your best photo and suddenly discover you couldn't and have to go back down again. Now, let's just have a quick look at how points are set up in places before we get too close to them. Where is Moab? There it is. How are they set? Oh, they're set for the straight. Good. Let's head down here to where we're eventually going, because I want to make sure we can get right down to the end, because I think by default it just puts you in the stoppage point, which we don't want to do. We want to go to the right. And further down in this yard, we want to go into this loop. And further down again, we want to make sure we aren't going to derail. Excellent. Hey, it's gone. Uh-oh. That was interesting. Yay, Train Sim World. I wonder if I've got those collectibles. Ah, there's a vest there. Damn it. I'll have to remember that's there and come back later. I'm not going to bore you all by going back to get it now. Don't you wish you could pick up the collectibles from the 8 camera? It'd be so much easier. You can do some things from the 3 camera. So I can open the lids on hoppers from the 3 camera. Sometimes I can change points, but not always. It's a little bit variable in how that works. Let's go find a nice spot to do some rail fanning. How high can we get? About there. That'll do. This is unlike me. I'm not even doing 3 times the speed limit. Train will come eventually. Honest. It's here. Somewhere. I've tried coupling and uncoupling from the 3 camera and I've never been able to do it. Maybe it only happens in certain scenarios or certain ways of doing things. Ooh, that was a bit stuttery. It didn't like me coming over here. It's one of the things I really like about this mod. The horns are loud. That road looks like a roller coaster going down to the left there. That'd be quite a drive. Now coming into the town of Moab. Damn curves. There's the mine down there. I am a little bit dirty that the dirt loader doesn't actually load anything. Gonna snap back to the train now. Because I do like you can stay on the outside in a tunnel now. I was really happy that they fixed this. The headlights still aren't bright enough, but Matt did actually come out with the real reason the headlights aren't bright enough. They stopped saying it's because engines in the UK don't have bright headlights. Now they've just said they can't do it because it looks awful during the day. The locos do make some cool little sounds. You can see the latest thing this mod did. I can get there. Proper reporting marks. That was some really shoddy camera work. Let's get down here on the curve. It is a nice landscape. I'm stuck on a rock. Fortunately, there's always the one key. Still loving those reflections. I kind of wish they'd just leave the textures off the river completely, because as you move around, when it draws the texture and doesn't draw the texture, it's a bit strange. Especially at this angle. Rivers really do not look like that. Never. Not even whitewater rivers look like that. Oops. Wouldn't let me press the button. That's okay. We'll sit in the train for a little while. With our conductor, who does nothing. Hi, how are you? Doing nothing? You're doing it well. Doing an excellent job of doing nothing. Nice safety vest too. What if I can collect that one? Interesting, in the free roam scenarios you don't get an end of train device. It's a bit sad. But that's okay. I think I covered last time some of the nice things this mod does, like putting the brand names onto the gauges. If you're a bit concerned about using mods, don't be, because you can use the quite nice utility, the TSW2 mod manager, which lets you move mods in and out of the game quite easily just by clicking buttons. So you don't have to worry about moving files around or anything like that if that's what puts you off. She is scowling at me, and you're right, Roy. She's making sure I do the right thing. But she doesn't do anything when I do the wrong thing. We must be in a bit of a flat area. To go and see the manager, you think, Roy? And explain myself. And they go, what were you doing on an island while your train was driving down the track? Speaking of trains, where is it? I think we've lost our train. Well, its alerter still works. Here it comes, I can hear it now. Thanks, Roy. There it is.
Be an awesome rail fan shot if there weren't so many trees. Just realised something horrible. I'm actually doing the speed limit. It's just not right. So speaking of explaining, Roy, I'm going to have to go and explain that. Look at that. The camera is faster than the train. It's just not right. Come on, train. Catch up with the camera. It's doing such a good painting shot. I set up for the perfect painting shot and it goes into a curve and then does the exact same speed I am. Oh well. I think we're nearly there. I crashed into a rock. Oh, ready for that jarring moment. Here we go. Still there? Still doing nothing? Still doing a great job of it. Keep it up. You need a little notebook or something so you can write all my shit down. Just saying. Just sneaked in the 4. You can see the mine in the distance down there. Reminds me of someone I used to work with, Roy. She had a list. In the end, we ended up being good mates. Still chat with each other, but no, she didn't think I was really funny when she met me. I forgot to check what these points are set to. And I think we're going left. .35 mile an hour through the slow points. Success. on my practice run for this stream yesterday, just to work out what would seem vaguely interesting and vaguely not interesting, I got up at this point and went and got a cup of tea. And I came back and the train had crashed into these carriages. It did it just as I walked back in. I kind of wish the crashes would last longer, to be honest. They look cool. So you happy? Doing the speed limit? You know, had to happen once this trip. Actually twice. We're going to leave this tank car in this little loop. No, I can do it. Look at that. So it must be a speed thing.
So we're about to hit 4 mile an hour.
Can still do it. Do you know, it's almost worth blowing the PCS valve just to see what happens when you unhook one they're still moving. We're crossing the road crossing now. We're almost into the little loop where we're going to leave this car. I'm going to do that. I'm going to unhook it on the fly. I want to see what happens. Strange things amuse me. Like coming up on the loader at the far end there, but it seems to know not to load hopper cars, so it doesn't, even if you go through them slowly. So we're almost in. We're not foul about a line now. Thunk. So it braked that car, but it didn't brake the train. That should be little red light. My brakes should be on. That's funny. I can see a forum post coming up with that. I would really like that to work. It's a cool thing about streaming, I guess. I've always got a bit of a recording of it. Yes, sad by me, I know. On a railway I worked on that shall remain nameless, we used to do things like that all the time. You just ride along and unhook cars in various places and hand shunt things. But in our modern safety world, we don't do any of that anymore. We're not even allowed to get on and off moving vehicles anymore. You have to bring the train to a stop and then get on or get off. But that's okay. I do kind of get that, because while many of us were perfectly capable of operating safely that way, not everyone is, and the ones who are not feel somewhat pressured to do it, and then bad things happen. Let's just pop to the back again so we can see when this comes into this loop. I have to go back in to do the alert. Yeah, we're almost in the loop. Yeah, I agree, Michael. It is a safety issue. I mean, it's really only a safety issue if you don't know what you're doing, but because not everybody can be trusted to know what they're doing and actually do that work safely, then I do understand why it became forbidden. Alright, let's try the 3 camera to unhook these. Should be able to do it. Bonus. Off you go, train. Very good. Now let's just have a quick look at these points down here. They are set correctly. No collectibles there. Which is a pity, because I'm going slow enough here to actually get it. Must have already got that one. Yeah, different rules in different places though. I actually love watching, I think it's Santa Fe's 1950s safety video. It is awesome. All the stuff that they do, like running along the tops of cars and stuff, and it tells you how to do it safely. It's like, yeah, right. And I think the most impressive unsafe video I've ever seen was a crew on Saluda grade that realised they were going a little bit quick. And 2 guys got out of the loco and climbed up on the cars and started putting on handbrakes as they ran down the train. They made it. But impressive. Now we're going at the back there. And that'll do. Well, that one didn't work. That one, now it did. Okay, good. Why does the independent brake hiss continuously? Should have changed ends, really. I'll do that in a moment when we hook up. Why do I get the impression the independent brake is only acting on one locomotive and not all three? I want the other three, so I can set some points. Oop. No, I can't go further than the train than that. All right. We shall use the map to set the points. Why am I going that way? Let's try that again. That's better. This is kind of a scary view. I like it. Can I centralize? Oh, I can ride the coupler. Where's my coupler? Up there. There you go. That'll be the view. Just got to watch my speed or this is going to hurt. I didn't think I brought him this far down the loop, but maybe I did. Obviously I did. It's going to be quite the surprise when we do find them. Three sleepers warning. Ah, there they are. Bang. Oh, it threw me out of there. I was hoping to see the hoses couple up. That's alright. Alright. Back into the cab and we'll shut this end down. Oh, take him out. It's always funny you put the handle in, handle off, but you can't actually take the handle off. That one. Now I have to remember to turn off the safety systems. Sorry, you're going to be here all on your own for a little while because you don't move. You never seem to follow me around, so I guess you'll just have to stay here. Apparently I can sit in her chair. That's a bit mean. That'd be a door, Jim. Probably would have been quicker to do this from the ground, wouldn't it? Hey, one thing I noticed that they, I think, fixed, because I'm pretty sure when it released, you couldn't open the door to start the engine. And I think that got sneakily fixed. Should lock that, shouldn't I? Oh, no. Lock. Alright, let's turn on radio and alerter. Jump in the big chair. For those not familiar, what I've turned on there was the generator field, so the engine's already running, control and fuel pump's already on. This lets it generate power. Put the handle in, set up the brake, and release it. Oh, you need to set that too. Controlling unit coupled at long end. I should have unset the other one because its headlights are going to stay on, but that's okay. It's pumping up the train. Better put on some power before it rolls back. And where's our friend gone? Ha, she didn't come. She's still down the back. So now we're going to take these. Yeah, its headlights are still on. Let's do something else really naughty then. I just hope I don't get to the point that I get too fast and it doesn't let me back into the loco. That would be sad. Because if you go too fast, you can't get over those. Hi again, just me. Yeah, I am driving the train, honest. Is that tank car that we dropped off before? In an upcoming stream, I'm going to be running the 7 line. For the New York subway. Oops. 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 Come on. Come on. Yeah, let's go for emergency then. Get a couple. Oh. That was a bit of a dopey thing to do. I'm going the wrong way. Its headlights are still on even though I turned them off. Oh well. So, that didn't really couple, did it? I think I'll be going to the office, Roy. Now, did that let go? I'm going to have to sit here and wait, aren't I? Put that back in emergency for 1 minute. Yeah, I think you're right, Michael. Just wait while that does its thing. Have to wait for a minute. And he knows the headlight's on, but down here it's off. Nah, it won't be in her notes. She's not there. She just would have felt the big bang from the other end and gone, oh, what's he done now? Oh, has it been a minute yet? Probably not. Do, 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 do. You know, I heard that in a Pauline Hanson voice there, Roy. Please explain. Oh, well, people do like it on streams when there's a disaster. Someone will get a giggle out of it. There, the brakes go. At least at this end. We haven't had any Pauline action for a while, Roy. But the others that are watching, Pauline Hanson is a, let's call her a notable Australian politician. She's used to be Australia's chief racist, but there are worse ones now. I'm surprised I got away with that. And I was watching it coming up, I'm thinking, well, that's going to be an interesting end to a stream. You'd have to cut to the news article. Where's the switch stand? That's better. All right. And yeah, I know about the other one. I'll do that from the map. Good-o. Off we go again. Bye-bye, tank car. Little buff out, mate. Don't worry about it. It's not as though a train hit you. Just occurred to me, since the rail driver camera doesn't like the new setup, that gives me an incentive to throw away that horrible fuzzy camera and put the other one on. My wife found someone who was selling a Stream Deck and a Go XLR on Marketplace, and it came with a bunch of other stuff that I didn't need, like another webcam and another microphone and some other things like that, which are all sitting in a box. And I thought I'll just sell the other stuff to fund the first purchase, but haven't gotten around to doing it. But I might actually use the webcam, because I just remembered the rail driver one's a bit horrible, and I was just reluctant to pull it off there because it was working. And I try not to change things that are working, because then they become unworking. We're going to roll back down that other siding and pick up some of those gondolas, I think. Ah, look at that. Look who's watching my stream. And yes, you are great at finding it for me. Thank you. It's a good thing I was being nice, eh? Stream, meet the other half. Other half, meet the stream. That seems to have worked. What's the next one doing? No, it's going in there. No, it's going straight. Good. Because I want to go down there and pick up some hypercars. So let's do that. Let's ride from the top. Just waiting to hear the brakes release. There they go. This road crossing amuses me. It's a crossing sign, but it doesn't actually cross the tracks. I don't think you'd want to bump over the tracks even in a tractor. Mainline tracks are pretty big. Very tall. Zero collectibles. There's our hoppers down there. How many locos have we got? We've got 3. Well, let's try and take the whole lot. See if we can get up the hill. Of course you'll realise I'm just making this up as I go along. I departed from my plans a while ago. You flying a plane while you're doing this, Roy? Are you up there? This is the reality of shunting. Slow and boring. Although we don't have one of the realities in this game. Coupling up to this train, you'd probably have to wait about 10 minutes while it pumped it up. But in this game, you can go almost immediately. Well, we're in Utah, Roy. And the other end of this line's in Colorado. Lovely. You can hear the air flowing into the other part of the train, which is awesome. Right, stopped quick. Just wait while it's still pumping up. What I'm watching is that white needle. That's the train brake pipe. And this one's the cylinder on this locomotive. Well, one of them anyway. How many wheels has it got? Ah, we popped the thing. Alright, we wait for a minute. It's interesting that it's got PCS open, but the brake pipe pressure was going up. How does that work? That's a bit wrong. There's another bug report. What should we talk about for a minute while we do this? And talk about the fact that their PCS implementation's wrong. So even though PCS is open and I'm on emergency brakes, why have I got any brake pipe pressure at all? Why? What's going on? That's just weird. But we'll sit here for our 1 minute timeout anyway. Just while we're here, we'll be going to look around. Since we have to wait for a minute anyway, might as well go for a wander. I wonder if we can juggle this headlight. No, it's definitely off. Intermediate unit. Is it off now? No, it's still on. Controlled from another unit. Still on. Headlights. Ha! Victory. I am amazed that switch works. It surprises me a little. We should have had our timer by go off by now. Assuming it still works when you're not actually in the cab. So I should be able to reset now. That would be cool. Ooh, that was sickening. Yep, excellent. Forwards. Now we're back to watching the brake pipes pump up. So that's main res, that's the one the compressor fills up. The equalizing reservoir is a topic a little bit too complex for a stream, but maybe I'll do a stream on air brakes one day for people who are interested. It's not the most exciting subject in the world. This one is one of the brake cylinders on this locomotive, and this one is the train pipe, which is pumping up all the way to the back. And if we had a gauge on the back, which we do not, but you'd see the pressure slowly coming up here too, but you'd see it was much lower here than it is here, because it takes a long time, because of all of our carriages, Actually, what I will do before I run out of here to explain things is I'll pop on the independent. Out of all of our carriages that are down here, every single one of them, including the locomotives, in fact the locomotives it's there, above the fuel tank. I wonder if they model it. Do they have it? Maybe it's up here. Not at this end. What about this end? Yep, there it is. They all have... Is that the cylinder or is that the reservoir? That's the reservoir. So they all have a reservoir, and every single one of those has to get pumped up with air. Modern ones have 2 chambers, one for normal braking and one for a last-ditch emergency application. And then there's the braking cylinder itself, which is there, which puts on the brakes on that carriage. So these things have to have air in them, and that would be... That should be where the pull line is for the driver or engineer to test the brakes, and that's probably a cut-off valve, that thing. But the way the braking system works is when the brake pressure drops in the train pipe, it applies on the wheels. So you can see brake blocks in there. They're pushed on by that cylinder that's up there, and that acts on both bogies. There's normally only one on a train. Sometimes you'll have multiple cylinders in each bogie, but often there's only one, and there's mechanical things that pull the brakes on. And the way that works is the thing called the triple valve detects that this brake pressure has dropped, and it lets some air out of the reservoir into the cylinder to apply the brakes. And the more this drops, the more it applies the brakes, until you get into the emergency situation when it applies them completely. We should be all pumped up by now, surely. And there's quite a few carriages here, so... Let's head back to Moab. And we'll see if 3 SD40s is enough to get this up the hill. Quite a long train. Do you find, Michael, in your driving that PCS trips much easier on some implementations of locomotives than others? Yeah, most of the time I don't get them, but it seems to happen a lot with these SD40s, on Cane Creek specifically. Used to happen a lot on Sandpatch too, but they fixed that. It trips in situations when it shouldn't. Because when you couple up, it shouldn't trip then, because the train pipe shouldn't be straight through straight away. You let the air in gradually. It's such nice scenery, you really can't help but do rail fan shots. Yeah, that's going back a while. We'll have NEC back again soon. I was vaguely contemplating that it would be cool that the people who owned NEC from 2020, if they got the new NEC for free, that would be cool. I'm actually looking forward to the new one because it's not just a long, boring run. There's commuter as well. That will make me happy. That's not what I want to do. I want to get rid of the dot. Got it. Yeah, it would be a really nice gesture. Can't alert while panning. Oh, I understand why they don't do it. Absolutely, it's just not economical for them. It's actually why I haven't suggested it on the forum, because frankly, there's just too many dickheads there that would jump on it and not treat it as an idea, but start turning it into a demand. And I don't want to start that. Absolutely. There do seem to be a fairly large collection of gifted individuals, shall we say, who are keen to start trouble at the moment. I don't quite understand what they actually get out of it, to be honest. Unfortunately, they're not the kind of people that are ever going to watch this. So I can talk about it here. It's getting very steep here. Yeah, they do. The mod shouldn't really have to do it though, but at least there's a good collection of them. There's a big difference between being allowed to have your say, which is a perfectly reasonable thing, and being really nasty about it. Yeah, Nat's got her confidence. Her development over the last... It's probably been a year now, I would think. If it's not, it must be close. It's been pretty cool. Absolutely. Opinions are all good. We all have different ones, and that's perfectly okay. But civility is the key. Now, there's the arch. Up there. Cool if trains went through it. How long's that bell been going for? I moderate on another forum for an organisation that I won't go into because it's nothing to do with this stream, but there's consequences if you go beyond just having an opinion. Things tend to happen to you. And I think that's a good thing. But I don't know that that happens on Dovetail. I don't think I've ever seen anybody actually kicked off their forums. So maybe it's happened. I haven't noticed. I don't know if you can see it on the stream, but the rocks on the left-hand side are actually moving. That's very strange. I wonder if I can zoom in on that. Or will they stop? No, they stop when you zoom in. Come on. Ah, tunnel time. That's good to know that they do get kicked off. I did see a judgment in a court case, which was a defamation case recently, where the judge did say that free speech is perfectly okay, and in Australia we don't actually have it in our constitution that we have free speech. It's purely through precedents through the courts that we have free speech for us in the press. But there's no law that says we've got it. But he basically said that free speech is okay and it's a perfectly reasonable thing and everybody's got it. But there are consequences. So if you're evil about your free speech and you say things that aren't true about someone, you can expect... I love doing this in the tunnels now. Can't wait till we can do it on the other ones. Oops, it popped out of the world. Ah, that's cool. Look how deep that tunnel is in the mountains. It amazes me they actually modelled the whole tunnel. Oh well. We're going to beat the train to the other end anyway. We just passed it by the sound of it. Can I get back into the tunnel? Better hope there's a gap in the rock somewhere so I can get out. Oh, there is. Look, there's a little gap there. Yeah. Whoop, is it going to let me out? Yes! I wonder how close it is to the end of the tunnel. Not close at all. Let's go have a look. Let's just stand here till we see the headlights. Oh, it's getting closer. There it is. That's a bit weak from a headlight perspective. Yeah, it might be part of the light baking. I confess I understand the terminology, but I kind of get what they're talking about from some of the explanatory streams, but it seems more like art than science. I'll just put it in the category that it's magic and leave it at that. Yeah, the road crossing is a bit crap. It's like they forgot. Something else for her to write in her little book. Those headlights are back on again. Gah, what is going on? I wonder if those hoppers are loaded. We'll know soon. Yeah, it's 2 bugs this time. I was just thinking if they're loaded, it might be a little bit interesting trying to lift this train. Looks like they changed. Yep. Alright then, back we go. Yeah, we're going down the same track. We are. What happened then? Okay. Oh, I did change them. That's the thing. Maybe it's one of those ones that sounds like it changed, but it didn't really. Some of them, the handle's backwards on the points in Cane Creek. So when you flip them over the other way, all you do is move the handle. It doesn't actually move the points. And that's probably what happened there. That's okay. We'll cope. See? Wheel. It's coping. Yeah, now they work fine. Okay. Oop, we're out of the world again. Whee! Ah. I got back in. Holes in the world are always a little bit funny. I'm actually going to have to get out to uncouple them, I think. It's gotten confused. Yeah, 1.3 cam is on that side of it. It's a nice view, though. There you go. Needed to be done. And the other one's stuck there, so we'll actually have to get up. It's a hard life, isn't it? You know what that'll be. Betcha I left those lights on. Those ones? That will have got rid of them. Because the headlights were off. It was them. There we go. See, no bug report. It's my fault. See you later, Roy. Have a nice Sunday afternoon. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you at work tomorrow. Two's enough. Where did my gauge lights go? It's probably fair to leave the bell on here even though it's annoying. Go down and pick up our hoppers now. I suppose I should have spotted the other cars under the loader, but whatever. It's not as though it works. Be nice if it did, because I'd load them up and take them back, but they do not. Smooth. Ha! Didn't trigger it. Independent on and release the main brakes and let it pump that up again. And then we'll be out of here. But doors open everywhere. She can close her own doors. A whopping 10 mile an hour. I'm just going to run that back to the dinosaurs and we'll call it quits there for today. Where are the wires? Where are the wires? At this point, in reality, there's big power lines that go up there and go through that cutting. They forgot the power lines. They probably thought, it's ruining the scenery, don't put them in. That's like someone's talking to one of the cats in the background there. funny watching the carriages pop in as the draw distance comes on. The train's getting longer and longer. Good morning, Sam. I'm glad you like the drone. There's that floating rocks again up there. And we're almost at the stopping point for today. Hope you're well, Sam. Kinda got 4 in. Yeah, it's a nice day, Sam. It's not the weather they predicted at all. It's nice and sunny. Maybe it'll stay that way. See our dinosaurs again. I'm glad it's sunny here and sunny in Canada. Hopefully it's cooled down a bit. Whoa, I forgot we left this for the loop. I just hit that at 60 mile an hour. And again. And those points were set against us. Ah. Oh, well. I was kind of planning on parking that up there, but I think I had that choice taken away from me. But that's okay. Anyway, it's been lovely having you along. Good conversations, good chat. Hopefully we'll see you again next week. I will probably do some ad hoc streaming on an evening during the week for the version that's running on Unreal 4.26, as well as a proper stream next weekend for it. So I think it should be interesting. I'm kind of looking forward to it. And we will see how it goes. That's all right, Sam. You didn't distract me. It's fine. I actually thought I left that set for the main line, but obviously didn't. That's just me doing. But anyway, have a great one, people. And thank you very much for watching all the way through. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, give it a like. And I shall see you next week. And this is brought to you by a pre-programmed outro. All right then, that brings us to a close for today. Thanks for watching the stream and I hope you enjoyed it. I welcome any and all feedback. Feel free to comment on the video. Constructive criticism is welcome, especially if I've got something wrong. I stream every Sunday morning starting at 8:30 AM, and I also do ad hoc streams from time to time during the week. Please subscribe and click notify to avoid missing out. Subscribing helps me by helping me see what content is good and how it helps the channel grow, or doesn't, as the case may be. So a little bit of info about me. I drive train simulators, but unlike some, that isn't my only railway experience. Today I operate on a preserved railway doing track inspections and operating as second person on the footplate in trains. I've driven steam, diesel, sparks and trams from time to time across several rail networks. I understand how trains work and how complex train forces enforce certain train handling procedures, especially around acceleration and braking. Generally when I'm driving a simulator, I try to be prototypical. I don't have a lot of in-cab video because we cannot do it while moving, but here's a short clip of me doing the cab half of a standing brake test to ensure continuity across the train. I build model trains in traditional means and have an ON30 logging railway and a Lego trains layout because I can. So yes, I'm not just a gunzel, I'm a proper train nut. Thanks for watching and see you next time.